right, we are live, everybody. Welcome back to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm Matt Cook. This is the Butsy.
Howdy.
And we are coming to you live from Club Twirl Golf Lounge in Phoenix, Arizona. Woo-wee, do we have an episode for you. This is episode 115 of the Pull Hook Golf podcast. And guess what, folks? It is the Masters recap because the Masters, yes, it happened. It was here. It has been conquered by none other than, on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about Scottie Scheffler's dominance. We're going to talk a little Masters recap. We've got the upcoming RBC Heritage, and then we've got the Swanee Style segment. And last but not least, folks, we have Live Golf Masters Recap Edition. So, going to be going through a lot tonight, but before we do begin, Potsy, how are you, buddy?
We're doing all right. We're coming off of quite a bender here, so pretty excited to be here nonetheless. Thanks for having me back, dude.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Very excited.
I know you were at Hack Masters. You had those awesome Air Jordan, those custom Air Jordans.
Yes.
Surprised you're not rocking those. I even brought out the Masters Edition. Don't mean to be flashing too much
That's
there.
very nice.
Yeah.
Are those actually green on the side?
They are green.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's gray suede with the green. They look a lot better in person than they did in the photos, I'll tell you that much.
It's very interesting. I may have gone colorblind over the past couple days. Okay. Sorry. Very good.
He lost his eyesight, folks. He's going to be all right. I promise. So, with that said, we do, before we get going here, do want to give a shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Swanee's Golf. Everybody go to swanees.co. I'm rocking their yellow polo, the green shorts. It's all from Swanee's. So you got to get yourself together, and guess what? Because you're a listener, you get 25% off your entire order at swanees.co by using the promo code PullHookGolf25. Oh man. Now, there is also a golf tournament fundraiser that, let me throw this up here. So this fundraiser is for the Refuse to Lose Cup. I just got put into this over the weekend, so I apologize for late notice for everybody. But if you would like to donate, it is a charity event. It all goes to the V Foundation. That is the QR code there for mine in particular. You can go in, you see the link down there at the bottom. I can't read it from here, but it's something golf dash Matt Cook. So go ahead and add in some funds. We're looking to raise at least $2,000 for my individual self, and it all goes to a great cause. So
nice.
Refuse to Lose Cup, and there we go. And now we're back. So
There we are.
let's get into this. And I also want, if you guys have comments tonight, feel free to chime in. If you were watching the live version, whether you're on millions.co streaming, YouTube, Twitter, or X as the kids call it nowadays. But that being said, let's get into Scottie Scheffler's dominance.
Oh, man.
Holy cow.
Oh, man.
Scottie Scheffler. So, first of all, the only thing that could have stopped Scottie Scheffler from winning this week was his wife.
Yeah.
Because if she was about to give birth of the first child, the firstborn Scheffler, then he would have left. And I believe him. Like, most guys say that, and you're like, you're full of fucking shit.
No, not Scheffler. Not a man of God. He was dead serious about that. No question.
He was 100% serious, and you knew, even if he was, we were talking about it on the golf course Sunday. We're like, hey, it would be really cool if she went into labor now when he's clearly going to win.
Right.
And he's just like, sorry guys, got to withdraw, got to move on. You know how many sponsorships he would have ended up with?
Oh my God. I mean, I think there was a little bit of a PR play to dramatizing that a little bit. Because I did see him at a bar last night when he got home.
He
so
sure did.
A lot of people kind of said, was she as close as they made this out to be? I think it added a little theatrics to it. But still, had it happened, you're right, he would have gone. So.
He would have gone.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe you, Scottie. So, with that said, Scottie, obviously it did not happen. The birth of his first child. She's still pregnant. She's still waiting for labor to take form,
Yeah.
take place. I don't have a kid, so I don't know. But that being said, we also have his first round Saturday. Now, that was something special, okay? He, for what he did during that round, to start off okay, I think he birdied one of the first couple holes, and then in the middle of the round, struggle city for Scotty Scheffler. Absolutely just started, and I even texted my buddy, I was like, Scotty Scheffler has fallen.
Now you're gonna have to catch me up a little because I was out on the golf course during that point in time. But was there a little slip up?
Little slip up. Scotty Scheffler had a bogey in there, had a double bogey, and all of a sudden Scotty Scheffler wasn't in the lead anymore, and it seemed like Scotty Scheffler was heading straight downhill.
Chink in the armor.
Little chink in the armor, and you're like, oh god. Here he goes, and it missed a couple short putts, and you're just like, oh no, Scotty's done. Scotty is done. And then, by the grace of God, he ends up bringing it back together and ends up birdieing a few holes coming in, regains the lead, and it looks like nothing ever happened. Like, he had that moment in the middle of the round. He was asked about it, and he's just like, yeah, just kept trucking along. It happens. Yeah. Kind of lost it there for a little bit. Should have had a pimento cheese sandwich mixed with the pulled pork barbecue.
It did not rattle his cage, is what you're saying.
It did not.
Yeah.
He was not fazed by it in the least. And I will say this about Scotty Scheffler and his putter. That TaylorMade Spider, it is working, man, because he still showed signs throughout this Masters of the putting woes. But he also putted unbelievable. So if that makes sense, he still missed some short putts that he should have made, but he dropped so many bombs and so many good putts that you're just like, holy shit.
Do we know how many putts he had?
TaylorMade fixed him. We do not.
Not a direct. Okay.
Don't have that. But I mean, I do think if he doesn't have these putting issues and these putting woes, and a lot of people might sit there and go, I didn't see any putting woes. I did because I was looking for it.
Yeah.
So you might be like, oh, he just missed some close spots, whatever. Not a big deal. But even Trevor Immelman, he was talking about it as well. That Scotty Scheffler, he had this little tendency with his hands that I haven't seen before. But he called it out on missing some of those short putts on Friday and Saturday. That he's like, there's the tendency right there, and it's magnified because of how fast the greens are.
Gotcha.
So you could really tell.
Is this a yip? Is this just a little? Do you call it? Do you go that far?
I'm not going that far. I think it's a technical issue that when he's under pressure, he struggles with.
He reverts to this.
He
this
reverts
move.
to it.
I got you.
I gotta set up. I'm just letting it all hang out here. If you're watching the Millions.co, we got full legs. We got everything going on here. Ladies, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need to kind of. So I kind of got the phone right here, just trying to protect the baked potato, you know.
Baked potato, tasty,
Hot potato.
salty.
Cut.
Cut that part out. Holy shit! Where did we get off to? I'm just catching up on some of these notes. I mean, I did a deep dive into the Masters, especially today. All day I've just been grinding over what is going on and what we can take away from the Masters as well. And here's the thing. I'll say it again. I said it before, but we are witnessing pure dominance that we have not seen since Tiger Woods. And somebody threw out there on Twitter was he was saying that, Rory McIlroy and DJ, and that the fact that Scotty Scheffler hasn't won past April before. And it's like, that's kind of an anomaly. I feel like, I don't think, yes, there's the circadian rhythms of people that they play better at certain times of year and so forth. Seasonal. But Scotty Scheffler, I just feel like he has arrived. Like, this is his first year where he's arrived. Like, he might have won a Masters. He might have won a Players' Championship. He might have won Bay Hill. But this year just feels different, don't you think?
Dude, you can see an obvious separation happening. I mean, I think it's just obvious to anybody that's a real fan of golf. Like you just said, this separation from the pack and starting to bounce off the wall of, is he going to keep doing this? Is he going to keep doing this? He's going to continue to do this. I think it's here to stay. I'm with you. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
We've got, and by the way, the stats back it up. So get this: strokes gained.
Oh, I saw
total.
This is crazy.
Yep. So strokes gained total. It's the most dominant since Tiger Woods. He is currently 2.812 strokes gained over his competitors. Now, Rory, during his most dominant part of his stretch, was 2.551. DJ, 2.372. So clearly, with 2.812, that's insane. That's almost 3 strokes better than everybody else.
And that's so far.
Yeah.
That's so far. Like that, we could see that up towards the 3.
We could.
Woo!
I don't think we ever have, other than Tiger Woods. But man, it's something
It's
to
exciting.
be seen.
It's exciting to see somebody stand out again.
It really is.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It is. And you know what's funny? We started coming to Scotty's defense a little bit a couple episodes ago about the fact that, yeah, his personality is a little bit boring, but his golf game is so fucking good that doesn't really matter. Like, I love watching him play golf.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
I always wonder if he's going to fall over.
He does not look stressed out at all.
No.
He looks calm as a bomb, dude. He's chill. And like you said, yeah, there's nothing flagrant about what comes out of his mouth. He lets his game do the talking.
And I'm the first guy to say that I love guys that show emotion and, drop F-bombs and so forth. So if you're against that, I apologize.
Somebody did that, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, it happens to the best of us. And I like that. So I always kind of felt like, oh, Scotty is a bit boring, whatever. But now, with how good his game is speaking for itself. And that's cool. And I really enjoy watching Scotty Scheffler play golf right now. His course management is brilliant. Teddy's phenomenal on the bag. And I just don't think that you can really have the best of everything. I mean, we kind of did with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was cool. He was well-spoken. I feel like at times he was, very charismatic, especially on the golf course. Cocky. And we got spoiled with that, with his brilliance. Where like Scotty Scheffler, and I'm going to say this curse that happens whenever a golfer has their first child, and it happens to a lot of them, almost everybody. Mm-hmm. But Scotty Scheffler might be the first one that it does not affect. And I'm going to tell you why. Because golf is not number one to him.
No.
And never really has been. So, to me, that's different than like a Jordan Spieth. That's different than like a Ricky Fowler. That's different than a lot of these guys to where golf was number one. I mean, you can go down a fucking list and look at what happened after the first kid came, and I can tell you right now, the wives are a little bit more demanding. You have to spend more time off of the golf course and less time practicing, and your game goes downhill. I don't think that's going to happen with Scotty Scheffler. I don't think his wife is going to be demanding. I bet that she's going to push him to be on the golf course.
Get out there, dude.
Yeah. Hey, you're in your prime. I think she understands.
Yeah.
And just seems like that good type of person that isn't going to just be selfish in those moments.
Well, he spoke to that a little bit about how, to him, I think it was something along the lines of golf is like, and winning majors, and it's like an unattainable chase. It's like a paradox. You're just going to keep chasing your tail, and it's great winning, but there's no amount of it that can satisfy your thirst. So maybe that's why he doesn't feel that pressure. You know what I mean? Maybe that's
Totally.
why. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm totally with you. And he was asked about it after the win, about, hey, you're having your first kid, like, how is that going to distract you or whatever? And he's like, listen, I've got no plans on, going downhill from here.
Yeah.
Like, I forget his exact words. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but he's really committed to the fact that he's in his prime right now, and he has figured it out. Remember his first Masters win when he talked about before the final round he was crying and that he didn't feel like he was ready for that moment?
Yeah.
And it showed with the 4-putt on 18, but he had such a big lead that he won anyways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But Scotty Scheffler, I mean, it's going to be fun. And I just want everybody to know that what you're about to witness is greatness over these next
Yeah,
couple
how
of
is he?
years.
Is it 20,
He's in his mid-20s.
27?
I think he's only 25, 26.
Yeah, so
It's stupid.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. As long as he stays healthy, which I don't think he is going to do anything. Might break his ankle at some point. That's all I can
That could
say.
be fun.
Potentially. But,
Pull a Tony Finau.
he ain't going anywhere, man.
No.
He's going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's
Yeah.
so good. And that's the thing, like, we take it for granted when Tiger Woods was so dominant back in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, get ready. This is Scotty Scheffler's time that he is going to dominate. And as golf fans and as golf enthusiasts, we need to appreciate this time that we get for Scotty Scheffler. So that's, again, why for him, golf has never been number one. He's not going to fall into the trap of the whole entire first child. His game's going to go downhill. I don't believe it. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen to him. But, again, I also didn't expect him when he flew back into Dallas to be at a dive bar.
No, I mean, he's not going to beat Tiger's records, right? Like, those are almost unattainable, and I think he knows
With
that.
what, the hookers?
Well, I don't know what that exact number stands at, Matt. That might be something we need to cover here in future episodes.
I saw a comedy special by Neil Brennan, who
Yeah.
who wrote for the Chappelle Show.
Oh, God.
And he goes, athletes they're mentally unwell. And he gets into a bunch of the sports and then gets to golf with Tiger. And he's like, listen, all Tiger had to worry about was golfing and fucking, golfing and fucking, golfing and fucking. And what happens when you took away the fucking from Tiger? Stop golfing good.
Yup.
So it's like there's something to be said, good old Tiger Woods, when it comes to some good old golfing and fucking.
Well, because he abstained from that this week,
He
right? That was the
did.
story.
Yeah, that
Stayed
was the
out of
story.
the Perkins parking lot, Very good.
I heard they cook some good food there.
To get through 72 holes of golf, though, not bad. I mean, it's a start.
Well, that's where we're leading into our Masters recap.
Oh, yeah, we're headed there.
And the first part that we're going to get into is the wind. Because the wind was a factor.
Yeah.
Factor. Friday was a beast of a day.
That's what I'm hearing. Where did it get up to? Is it blowing?
It was blowing up to 40 miles an hour for
Yeah,
sure.
that's.
And I'll tell you, I watched it all day, and I was tired just sitting there watching them in the wind. Max Homa just wanted to curl up into a ball, and he said in his post around interview, he's
Yeah.
like, I just want to be indoors somewhere warm.
Brutal.
And I totally get it, man. But that's where Tiger Woods, man,
What do you think?
he had a rough schedule in terms of golf. Like, I feel like he could have managed 18 holes a day and been
because
okay.
of the he had to
But
go.
because of the weather delay,
Uh-huh.
he ends up playing, he finished 13, so it was 14, 15,
20,
16, 17, 18.
24 holes.
Somewhere, not a
lot
math,
of golf.
A lot of golf he played, and he had to be up early, right? And then he had to play late, and then the next day he had to be up super early once again, and just getting his body ready for that was so difficult. But let's take a moment, okay? I saw a lot of comments on social media about, oh, do you enjoy watching Tiger Woods anymore? Sure fucking do.
What are you talking about?
Sure
Duh.
do. I appreciate every single moment that he is on the golf course. To me, still a complete needle mover. You could see the patrons. I mean, they were 13, 14 deep in terms of the galleries for Tiger on Thursday and Friday.
That had to be a young guy that said that. Nobody that watched him in his prime is saying they don't want to see him walk down. I don't care where he's hitting the ball.
I think there's some bitter old white men too
That's
that just
fucking crazy to me.
never liked him.
That
do.
could be true. Yeah.
And that's where it's a mix between the two. People that don't get it, and then those that are just racist
We
and
should
just
put up
don't
that
like
poll
it.
on Instagram later and have people vote on that.
Yeah,
I
right.
like that.
So I'm gonna leave that one up to you.
Very
good. But Tiger Woods made broke the record for most consecutive cuts made with 24 at the Masters. It is so impressive as to what he did. And the Thursday-Friday round, that to me showed me that he still has game.
Yeah.
And when his body is working, he can still play at an elite level because he was right there. I mean, he played in the worst conditions, just like Max Homa.
Mm-hmm.
And he was +1 after 2 days of really difficult golf at a very difficult golf course this year. And I'm just like, he still got it.
He was ahead of a lot of people.
And then I kind of expected, because of how much golf he played Friday, that Saturday he was going to suffer.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he was in a place to where he has pushed his body this far yet. Like, in terms of preparation for the Masters.
Right.
Like, I don't think he's tired his body out this much in order to know, okay,
Yeah.
now I got to swing like this. He's got to start swinging like us.
Right.
Where it's like, we're very stiff. Can't really move that well.
It's a plan B. It's like, okay, we got to,
Yeah, he's playing a lot with his hands, and that's the thing. You can't do that at Augusta
I
National.
saw him strapping up the ice pack on his, the icy hot pack all over his back, and then rubbing his whole torso with it, like, yeah, and not wincing at all, looking real nice doing it. So the fact that he wasn't just keeled over in pain is pretty impressive.
It's extremely impressive. I agree with you there.
And I think it'll get better and better.
I do too. I think he's going to figure it out.
Yep.
Because he still got the game. As long as his body holds up, I think he will figure it out for the last 2 days. He's looking forward to the PGA Championship now, which that's going to be his next tournament. And I'm excited for it. But as Ian Baker Finch always said, I was at private events at the Masters the years that I was there. Ian Baker Finch would be one of the personalities that would be around the event. And he was telling everybody, he's like, listen, this is the hardest golf course in order to walk. Your body is so sore by the time you get to Sunday. Guys are taping their ankles. You got shin splints. Your knees hurt because of how undulating it is out there. And I've been out there, and it is. Like, you walk around out there, you're exhausted after a full round or just walking around out there trying to follow groups.
The TV coverage doesn't do it justice, right?
It does
in terms
not.
of showing the depth, like, and how big some of these hills are. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the other thing here, folks. Right behind us, you got hole number 12 here at Augusta National.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
And so for anybody that wants to play, that doesn't think, hey, I'm going to be able to get a membership out to Augusta National anytime soon or receive that special invite, right here
Come on down.
at Club Twirl in Phoenix, Arizona. It's the Club Twirl Golf Lounge on Thunderbird. And this place is awesome.
It really
You've got
is.
2 simulators here. They do leagues on Tuesday, Thursdays. I've participated in the Thursday league. I still think I'm undefeated, by the way, because they did an Augusta National one, and I showed up an hour early with my playing partner, and we shot the low number. We tied, but because we weren't here for a playoff, we ended up losing.
Oh.
I felt like it should have been. They should have counted back the from the last hole.
Scorecard playoff.
Yeah, scorecard playoff. Work it back because we would have won because we birdied the last 2 holes. So, anyways, that's just a little pitch for good old Club Twirl out
There's a
here
ping
and
pong table
myself.
too, folks.
Yeah, ping pong
Don't
table. You
forget
got some
that.
putting greens.
Whew.
Fantastic stuff out here. So again, Tiger, if he can figure out how to get his body where he can go 4 rounds back to back to back to back to back, I think he's going to be able to compete with the best in the world. I really do. He still showed that he's got it.
Yeah, I agree, man. Plenty of speed. Everything's still there. He's just got to get through the full deal.
Yeah. Now Ludwig Oberg.
Oh, this guy. This guy. First appearance, right?
First appearance at the Met. It's his first major championship
Ever.
You would think that it wasn't because of the Ryder Cup, of winning on the DP World Tour, winning on the PGA Tour. I mean, this kid, and here's the thing, like, all the buzz around him was huge going into the end of last year. Because, for obvious reasons, right? But everybody's like, oh, he's going to win the Masters, he's going to win the Masters, he's going to win the Masters. And I was one of the guys that was critical, saying, come on, pump the brakes. This kid is a young kid. He just got on tour. Yes, he's had some career stuff go on, like he hit the pavement running when he came on to the DP World Tour and then the Ryder Cup and PGA Tour. But I forgot how good of a driver of the golf ball he is and how good his iron game is. Because those 2 things at Augusta National, and then if you're pretty good at putting, and can putt on very slippery greens that break a lot, you're going to have a lot of success at Augusta National. Takes a lot of good short game, and he's got that skill set. The one thing that I always thought was somewhat missing with him was a little bit of chipping and some short game stuff.
Some short game stuff.
But he has the complete package, and he looks cool as a cucumber out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Ludwig Oberg? Is this a superstar we're looking at?
I had my first experience with him this weekend, and in social media, there was a lot of memes that were kind of going around, like, who the fuck is Ludwig Oberg? Now, I know you just said he was huge, he was hot last year. Like,
it's Oberg.
Oberg. Where's he from?
Sweden.
Sweden?
I think so.
Anyways, so I didn't know who he was, I'll be honest with you. And after what I saw, yeah, I mean, he's super young, right?
Well, not super young. He's actually a little bit older for like a rookie coming out from college. I think he's what, 24? I think he's like 24 years old. He's an older college player.
He looked like he could have walked out of there with a W if a couple things had gone a little different. So
yeah, Scotty's wife had called and said, "I'm Connie, I'm going into labor."
That, or everybody says a couple putts here and there, but for being his first major, it looked like he's been there before. So
yeah, I think we're looking at a rising superstar, and even I heard it on the broadcast, and I heard it from some caddies as well, because I've asked guys, I'm like, man, how about Joe Scavern leaving Tommy Kim, who's an absolute stud, for Ludwig? And everybody kind of said the same thing.
What'd they say?
Ludwig has the opportunity of being a generational talent.
Gotcha.
Like, he is that kind of player, and I saw it. I saw it for the first time at the Masters. I thought he was phenomenal in the Ryder Cup. I watched his victory over in, it was up in the Swiss Alps over on the DP World Tour. That was a cool win. And then also his win at the RBC, or not RBC, that's coming up, at the RSM this past year on the PGA Tour. He won that one. And, like, he's looked good, but this was a different level.
Yeah.
And the calmness that he had during a major championship like the Masters, he didn't let it get to him. Like, he just was cool as a cucumber, and I love seeing it. So, in my opinion, Ludwig Oberg, it's only a matter of time before he's an absolute superstar. It's probably not going to be this year that he's going to, like, really, really break out. Like, he'll win some golf tournaments. I don't know if...
Well, I like your note here that says, I didn't mean to cut you off
you're
there,
good.
but that you see him being better in majors than, run-of-the-mill tour events, right? Like,
it's true.
He ends up being like a Brooks Koepka or somebody that just shows up when it's time to play golf.
Well, he showed it at the RSM that he can make a lot of putts and go low, but that's not really his game. Like, his game is plodding through a golf round, hitting very straight drives. He's one of the straightest drivers of the golf ball, and he bombs it
Lasers.
effortlessly.
Long lasers.
And then his iron game is fantastic. So to me, those two things lead to, okay, if you're not dropping every single putt like you need to on the PGA Tour in order to win a lot of events, then, you kind of have a situation where he's going to be really good in the major championships, to where guys are not dropping a shit ton of birdies.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's
can
going
see
to
it.
be really, really good in major championships. I'm interested to see him in an open championship format with crappy weather. But we did see it already kind of with the wind.
At Augusta? Yeah. You're talking like British Open.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
The European people are going to be upset with you.
This guy we got coming up next is really let me down big time.
Oh my
I
God.
was looking for him to make a car payment for me.
You know what's hilarious about that? So you text me
Fuck.
before the Thursday round and you go, I got Max home, and who was the other one you had?
I
forget.
don't want to talk about it. Let him cook, Min Woo Lee. Yeah.
Max Homa was a great choice. And you had me believing, because I'm sitting there going, he's figured it out. He's figured it out. He was, by the way, he had the worst conditions, along with Tiger Woods,
For timing, yeah.
for the timing of everything. Like, having to go out there on Friday, and for him to still, like, keep it together Saturday. Saturday, he just couldn't make a damn putt. Like,
Dude,
nothing went
he looked
in.
like Scheffler 2 months ago. Like, Literally.
Yeah, but you know what though? Everything was on the edge. Everything was burning an edge.
Well, yeah. And you could tell there was a little protection there, too. I mean, he hit it above the hole a few times. The squeakiest, glassiest, gnarliest little 6-footer down the hill, and he, like you said, he ran it over the edge. He was able to make the one coming back, didn't leave himself a 9-footer coming back, so I guess I get it. Probably have to play there to really understand what that's like. Like, it's probably so fast.
It's like glass. I remember, so I was training out of the Butch Harmon Vegas facility, or the Butch Harmon School of Golf.
Okay.
And I remember when the Masters was coming around, and they shaved down the greens for Adam Scott. And that was really cool because they got him at like 14 on the stem. And granted, you can't make a putting green very undulated, but there were some spots that were undulating on the putting green. You go over and putt on that thing.
Just ice.
There's concrete in here.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty close to putting on this concrete.
It, man.
And it's just, it becomes where you have to have a ton of touch and creativity in order to play the Masters.
And confidence, because like we're saying, if you're not trying to make it and you're just trying to putt, you're not going to get ahead. So
here's the great news for you, though, is that outside of losing money, and by the way, I lost money too because, once again, you convinced me on Friday, ended up putting a bunch of money on him. And I'm like, I think he's got this. Granted, I probably, in hindsight, should have been like, wow, he played a lot of golf today and played in really difficult weather. His golf game might not hold up over the weekend, but it really did for the most part. I was really proud of Max. He hung in there.
Yeah.
He had one really tough hole, being hole number 12, and when I saw him on hole 12, I felt terrible because you know what happened on hole 12?
no.
He didn't hit it in the water. He made a double bogey, but he hit it where...
Fuck, did he hit it on 12?
He hit it to the safe spot on 12, which is over on the left-hand side, like middle left.
Okay.
And he hit it just long. And if you hit it far enough, it rolls down the pine straw and ends up coming back into this little, like, gully right there, which is just, like, you could putt it from there, you could chip it from there, whatever.
Yeah.
His ball hits the downslope, scoots into the bush. He has to take an unplayable and then plays it from there. Everybody else's ball rolled down, except for his.
Little comp. Well, there you go. There you go. Little stuff like that. Yeah.
It was, I mean, that was the turning point in the golf tournament for him, whether or not he had a chance to win or not. But what I love is his quote on social media talking about the fact that, you know, I'm going to learn from this. This was a great opportunity and experience. And I think he learned what it takes on Sunday at a major championship in order to win. I think he really got that experience that he's never had.
Homa's going to win one.
Yes,
There's
I completely
no
agree.
Fucking doubt. I wish I could take a lifetime bet for it, like some crazy odds, but yeah.
I think you
definitely.
can.
Where do I go?
I think you got to go to Scotland or something. Or Ireland. Ireland takes those.
Definitely got. He can do it, man. Yeah. I mean, they were all tied. What hole were they all tied at 6? I walked back upstairs. I think that's probably when I missed 12, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Scheffler went ahead.
Yeah. Scheffler did. Well, Scheffler. No, it wasn't quite 12 because Scheffler went birdie, birdie, birdie on the front end, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And that's when he took over the damn golf tournament. He's like, see you fools.
Bye now.
Peace. I'm going to a bar in Dallas.
Yeah, it's something with the beard too, right? Yeah.
There is something with the beard.
You know.
And folks, if you've got any questions, whether you're on Twitter, YouTube, or on millions.co, feel free to add them here. We'll see them pop up as we go along. And we will answer any questions you have, any comments that you want to chime in with. If your comments are better than ours, feel free.
Please.
But only if they're better.
Yeah, you know, if you want to shit on us a little bit too, that's always fun. We really love that, so feel free.
Then we got good old the surprises of the Masters.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Fleetwood and Colin Morikawa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I kind of forgot about Colin Morikawa, but it was a nice little surprise to see him playing so well. And Tommy Fleetwood, the guy who, you know, he's around there at the majors, but this might have been Tommy's best appearance at a major.
Yeah, what did he end up finishing at?
He was tied for third with Colin Morikawa.
4 under? Or where were they?
Well, Homa was
4.
4.
So there was a tie. There was a big tie at 4.
So Fleetwood and Morikawa, I think we're ahead of him.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. I don't have the leaderboard up in front of me. I apologize, folks.
But yeah, you're right. That had to have been one of his better finishes.
He looked solid all
Yeah.
the way through. He just wasn't close enough heading into the weekend to get the job done. I think he shot 3 under on Sunday. Colin Morikawa struggled on the final day. I mean, he was obviously in the final group with Scotty Scheffler. But Colin Morikawa has the game to win. And I'm really surprised that he wasn't on anybody's radar. Wasn't on mine.
No, mine neither. Yeah.
He hasn't really been in form. I mean, the last thing I remember of Colin Morikawa was with Matt Fitzpatrick, narking on him at the Hero World Challenge back in the Bahamas last year.
What did he do to Hero?
So Colin Morikawa was measuring with measuring devices how fast the stimp was on the greens.
Okay.
And was writing it down in the book, in his course book.
His handy dandy notebook.
You can't write that down. You can use the devices. You can get the numbers, but you have to just remember it off the top of your head.
You can't refer.
You can't write it down in your book and all of a sudden start referring to it in a round. So Matt Fitzpatrick saw him do this and narked on him.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wonder if they've talked since.
I think Matt was going by Matthew back then and still had braces. So, you know,
That makes a lot more sense.
yeah, he's grown up now.
Oh boy.
Which I've talked about this with multiple people.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, good for Matt Fitzpatrick. I'm like, well,
I
guess I'm
man.
too much of a New York City guy where I'm like, you don't snitch.
I'm not a rat.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah. Or in his case, braces. right?
Don't be a snitch or a bitch.
Yeah.
You wind up in a ditch, bitch. So
Tell us the rules, Matt.
that's it. I mean, don't be a
Oh, my
snitch
Lord.
and don't be a bitch.
Yeah, don't go
There
out of
you
your
go.
way to tattle on somebody.
No,
for
it's
sure.
it's bullshit. So then we got
Sorry for the aside.
the two guys that just they realized, holy shit, I'm at the Masters, and then just shit
I
themselves.
love this note. Shit himself.
Nikolai
Once again, the lead on
Holgegard
Saturday.
and Cam Davis. Both of these guys
Ah!
on Saturday. They were right there, man. They were right there. And actually, Nikolai Holgegard got the lead. He had the lead when Scotty Scheffler was taking a little moment for himself.
Had a little break.
Nikolai
time.
Holgegard had the lead by himself. And then what did he do the very next hole? Oh, God! I'm in the lead at the fucking Masters. Can you believe this? And just lost it,
I
man.
mean, I can't make
just
fun
lost
of
it.
Imagine.
Poor
right?
guy. I mean, Cam Davis, he got close and was like, I think he tied for the lead at one point and then shit himself. But both of these poor guys, I mean, and I don't think it's one of those to where, like, I'm pretty sure for Nikolai Holgegard, this was his first Masters as well, if I'm not
Was it?
mistaken. I
Okay.
believe it was. So, like, I don't think this is a Jordan Spieth 12 moment or Rory McIlroy pole hooking it into the cottages on 10. I don't think it's that kind of moment where it's going to hurt them
In the future.
moving forward.
Just
I think it was one of those to where it's like, it's a positive, like, holy shit, I was leading
Caught a
the
little
Masters
sniff
on
of this
Saturday.
thing, yeah, I
It's
gotcha.
unbelievable.
I gotcha.
So
That
I
makes
think they're
sense.
both going to be well off from this, and they both got a ton of game. Then
oh
we,
my god, yeah.
then we've got. Hang on, while you're looking at the notes, I can't set it up this way.
No, you can.
Well, I was going to ask you, who underperforms on Sundays?
Oh yeah, I cheated.
Xander Schauffele.
Yeah.
And he does it again. I mean, Xander. And I've realized, because I used to talk about this with Bobby quite a bit. I was
Uh-huh.
like, Xander's game is so good. Where does it go wrong? And it was an enigma for such a long time. And then this Masters I saw.
He just stops firing at flags, dude.
He stops being aggressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's so good with being very conservative throughout a tournament, and all of a sudden he gets to Sunday, and it's like that he can't switch. There's no switch to turn
You
on.
can't wait on the leaders to come back.
No.
Right. You gotta at least give it a go, right? So.
You got to.
But he's done this a few times,
I mean,
like every time.
30% of the time it works every
Oh
time.
my god.
Good old.
I do like watching him swing the golf club, though. My God.
He's so good.
Oh,
That's
God.
the thing. Like, we're shitting on him, but he is so damn good that it is tough to sit there and watch him on Sundays just play average golf.
Most
just
rumored,
being like around par.
Is he probably the most rumored player to join Live too? That hasn't happened yet, maybe?
He was definitely one of them. Patrick Cantlay was one. I mean, we had reports from good sources that were up until that point 100%.
You saw today's report.
We're going to be getting
I don't know if that's in the notes here.
No, I added it. It's not in your notes. It's in mine.
Okay. Very good.
Good.
Sorry.
But Patrick Cantlay was very close back then, and now he obviously is running the PGA Tour for negotiations for the player side. But yeah, Patrick Cantlay actually was surprising this week, being up towards the top of the leaderboard at times. He fell off. And then Rory McIlroy, who we'll get to later, his Masters enigma continues, which Rory has the entire toolkit to win Augusta. Outside of his breakdown on that Sunday, why do you think, now you've played at a high level, if all of a sudden you have just a breakdown of a moment on a golf course and it sticks with you?
I think you do more harm trying to make sure that doesn't affect you going forward, and now that's probably all that is on your mind. And I'm sure he has probably seen God knows how many golf psychologists or sports psychologists to get through this, but at this point it's like a baseball curse. That's the best way I could put it.
Great point. He went to go see Butch Harmon, by the way, before the Masters. Good old Butch.
I don't know if Butch is a head doctor, though. I mean,
he is.
Is he?
Oh, 100. He's more of a sports psychologist than he is a golf instructor.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, one of his claim to fame back when he was working with Dustin Johnson was that he didn't change his bowed wrist. And everybody was like, oh, you got to change that for Dustin Johnson to be good. And Butch is like, fuck that. Yeah. And then Colin Morikawa. And then everybody is like, oh, you got to have a bowed wrist. I mean, it was kind of the thing. Then George Gankis and it kind of led down this path up until recently. But Rory McIlroy, I knew it from his comments, his press conference before the Masters. I called it out. I'm just like,
this ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just like, you can hear it in his fucking voice. He is not going to win the Masters this year. He's still just like, let me see if this will work. And he went to the Masters late this year. He's trying all these different things to break out of it. And, I mean, good.
It'll happen eventually, right?
I don't know.
Tiger said, I don't know.
He's got the game for it.
The talent alone is God, you got to break through one of these times. But, I don't know. The brain is a funny place to live, so. And
then we've got, as we're talking about just not being able to come through on stuff, good old Zach Johnson had a moment on hole 12 to where he clearly hot-mic'd and turned to the patrons that were across the pond and just yelled, fuck you. And looked dead at them all.
I think it was fuck off.
Or fuck off. I think you're right. I think it was a fuck off.
Were they clapping at the triple? Is that?
I don't know. Couldn't hear.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah. They were all like, woo, yeah! When he finally putted it in, that's what. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this much. There is nobody that is going to want the USA Ryder Cup captaincy again, because Zach Johnson has shown us. And I actually feel bad for him. I don't know him personally. I don't know if he's a good guy, bad guy. But he's always seemed like a pretty good guy to me. And now he is just being absolutely destroyed.
He looks like he's aged 10 years
He's like he got the U.S. presidency and literally came back 4 years later and looks like he aged 25 years.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
It's true, though. Fuck. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's not tolerating it well.
He's not, and
he needs to get off the internet. You need to stop looking at anything that's just go live in a hole somewhere.
And then Scotty. People are just chirping him. So, at the Waste Management this year, he blew up at a fan.
Sure.
And he has not had a good go of it. And I don't know, man. I don't know if he can get past this.
Do love a good blow up though.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's fun to see.
We've seen some good stuff from Billy Horschel back. Well, even this year at the Waste Management, Billy Horschel snapped at a fan too. So good old Billy Horschel, and yeah, that's the Masters recap. If we missed anybody, let us know, but I don't think so. That was pretty much the majority of the guys out there competing. And now we've got the upcoming RBC Heritage, which, by the way, make sure to hang on, folks, because we're not done with the Masters just yet. At the end here, we're going to be getting into the live side of the Masters. So when
That's
I say
right.
if we're forgetting anybody, I'm talking about PGA Tour players. So let's get into the RBC Heritage. This is one of my favorite golf tournaments, and I'm pissed that it's right after the Masters again. They did this last year, doing it again this year, and let me ask you, do you know why?
I don't.
So it is a signature event.
No cut.
So they figured, you know what, last year it was a signature event, and they wanted all the best players to be able to come right from Augusta, and what is literally right down the street, not literally, but
Harbor?
figuratively, good old Harbor Town
Harbor.
in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So Augusta, Georgia is right on the border of good old South Carolina. So you just hop on down. And Jeff Mossbrucker, he just threw in there Bryson question mark. We're going to be getting into the live golf guys
During the live guys,
at the end of this, at the end of the episode. But Harbor Town is just such a cool freaking golf course. And the past winner is none other than Matt, don't call him Matthew Fitzpatrick. Okay? He's a grown-up now. He's Matt.
He's a big boy.
And if you recall last year, he won in a playoff over Jordan Spieth, which Jordan Spieth plays Harbor Town really, really well. Also, Harbor Town, I didn't realize that they grew the course at all, but it used to only be about 7,000 yards, par 71. It's now 7,213 yards when it's tipped out. So this is going to be a test, once again, for guys and accuracy, okay? You got to be accurate off the tee. You got to have really good iron play because it's narrow fairways. They're all tree lined until you get to the open part, which that's when the wind can come in the last couple of holes. But you also have very small greens out there at Harbor Town. And that is the signature hole, I will tell you, 472-yard par 4 that runs along, and I'm going to botch the name of this, the Calabog,
I believe.
Sound. Is it Calabog?
I think it is.
Love
if it's
that.
spelled that way, I think so.
Calabog Sound. And this hole is famous for challenging the approach with water on the left and the iconic lighthouse in the background, making it one of the most challenging and scenic finishing holes on tour.
Probably a little bit of wind coming off the Sound from time to time, I would think.
That there is, for sure. But since this is a signature no-cut event, and since it is a quick trip right from Augusta, the only guy so far that has withdrawn, and I found this surprising.
Did you?
Because Scotty Scheffler is in Dallas right now. He's not in Harbor Town. He sent a message to his wife saying, "Honey, I'm coming home." And I don't think Scotty's playing this week, but yet the odds makers have him playing.
I think this is going to lead into what I was saying earlier, that they may have overstated the severity of her going into labor to kind of pump up the fact that he might leave the Masters.
That narrative.
Yeah, like, that, oh, he might leave, this is crazy, like, he cares more about his family. And if he plays, then we know that's probably true.
Yeah.
Otherwise, something really bad happened. So
I agree. But Victor Hovland withdrew. So Victor Hovland withdrew. If you recall, he had a really good Thursday at the Masters.
yeah.
Then he shit himself on Friday. That wind. And here's the thing. He's been going through swing changes. And when you go from playing at such a high level to all of a sudden, I hate to say it, start going down that rabbit hole of trying to get that perfect golf swing, that can weigh on you quite a bit. And he didn't have it heading into the Masters. He was my pick last year for leading into the Masters because of how well he finished, but he wasn't anywhere near in form for the Masters this year. I stayed far away from that bet, as
Smart.
humanly possible.
That was smart.
And so, after he blew up with the wind conditions on Friday, he withdrew shortly thereafter from Harbor Town, which he's got to be just mentally frustrated and exhausted. Have you gone through a swing change to where you're just
yes.
like, so I did recently, and it was infuriating.
The hope is that you get over the hump and you're back to playing some good golf and you can score. If you get lost in it and expect to play well competitively, you could do exactly, I think, what he's done and just completely fucking melt down. Hit it back into the woods 3 or 4 times and then start questioning all of your life. So, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah,
I mean,
really does.
That's what happens.
It's brutal. I mean, I feel bad for the kid.
He needs a break.
He's also been mentally frustrated with the tour. He has been very verbal about the tour's leadership and so forth. But let's go through our field here because this is, once again, a signature event. No cut, shit tons of money. We got Rory, we got Xander, we got Wyndham, we've got Ludwig, we got Cantlay, we got Homo, we got Harmon, we got Fleetwood, we got Fitzpatrick, we got Morikawa, we got Cam Young, we got Thagala, we got Spieth, Day, Pavone, Kim, Burns, Kirk, Bradley, Henley, Zalatoris, Batia, Fowler, Thomas, M, Siwoo, Knapp, and more. So it is everybody.
And more.
It's everybody.
Yeah, it's a good field.
And I'm excited about this one because you get to really see the game of these guys and how accurate they are. You can't get away with wayward drives at Harbor Town, which is going to be fun. And little betting analysis here.
Oh, yeah.
So in the future, we're going to be getting into some betting segments as well. But this betting analysis, you want to run through these?
You want to go with the odds, right?
Yeah,
this is where we're at as of today.
Give us a rundown with the names and the odds.
We got Scheffler plus 400, Xander plus 1,000, Rory plus 1,100, Ludwig plus 1,200, Cantlay plus 1,800, Fleetwood plus 2,000, Homa plus 2,200, Fitzpatrick, not Matthew, plus 2,200, Spieth plus 2,800. That's probably a pretty nice bet. Zalatoris plus 28, Cam Young plus 3K, and Wyndham in the back at plus 3,000.
Good old Wyndham. Now, I will give you
Wyndham.
guys a little bit of insight here. This is another week, and by the way, he did this previously for a tournament called Pebble Beach. But he has my trainer this week because I do not have my trainer this week due to the fact that he flew his personal trainer in to Hilton Head and has him out there for the week with him. So obviously, and he had him out there in Palm Springs as well earlier in the year, but Wyndham seems to play pretty well when he's got him out there and working with him throughout the week, making sure he's loose, fit, ready to go for the rounds. So I think Wyndham might have
That's
a pretty
some very
good...
inside info there.
Very inside.
That's like, there's something to that, right? Yeah.
There usually is.
And I'm going to go ahead and change my bet once again. Thank you, sir.
But I don't know. Here's the caveat. I don't know if Hilton Head, or not Hilton Head, but Harbor Town Golf Links is a great fit. There's horses for courses. And that's why Wyndham's a little further down that list. But I do like him for like a top 20 this week. But let's get into this betting analysis. And I'll go over some guys after we give our picks.
Okay.
So my pick this week is going to be good old Ludwig Oberg.
Really?
Yep.
You don't think he's just so overstimulated? You think he's going to come in here and just get hot again? You think he's...
I think he's hot right now. I think he's in form. I think after that match... And by the way, what did I say about his game? Great driver of the golf ball. By the way, he hasn't played Harbor Town before.
But
in a PGA Tour event.
In your mind, it fits it well.
His game fits it so nicely because he hits it so damn straight and so far. And then on top of that, his iron game is really good. So what are the two things you really need at Harbor Town?
Exactly.
You need really good driving skills, and you need to hit really good iron shots. Which it's surprising why Jordan Spieth plays so well down there.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes it. Well, I'm taking... Who's your second guy?
No, it's your turn.
I got Bhatia.
I'm so sorry. Bhatia.
Yeah. Bhatia? Is that how you say it?
It's Bhatia.
Bhatia?
It's
Battier.
One more time. So close.
B. Hatia.
B. Hatia. B. I feel like it's a cheerleader. Little skit there. B. Batia.
What are the odds that one of those was right?
None. Zero. You're so close though.
Help me
Especially
out.
with the B. Hatia. It's. I don't even know if I know what.
Now
it
you
is
gotta
now.
fucking say it right.
It's Batia.
Batia. I got him.
But,
Sorry.
not with the P. It's a B.
That's what I'm saying.
Batia.
Not P.
Batia.
Am I lisping? Fuck. Get this thing away from me. Batia. Bashes.
Bashes. Great grocery store.
No,
Soon to be a sponsor.
I think he's hot. I think he's going to get it done this week.
Akshay. Good old. Let's go with Akshay.
And I don't know. Let's go with the first name.
Yeah.
Akshay Batya.
Oh, God.
We got it.
It's like when
Proudly.
everybody was calling Ludwig Aberg, and then all of a sudden they realized, what does that little O stand for at the top of the A? And it turns it basically into an O.
It's a
so
whole
it's Oberg. Now, here's a little bit of analysis around the betting side of things.
Yeah.
Watch out for Will Zalatoris this week.
Whew.
Okay? Will Zalatoris, he got off to a great start at the Masters on Thursday. Struggled through the Friday round. Really had a tough time in the wind. And I don't know if the wind is really his game. So he's never finished outside of the top 10 at the Masters, which is crazy because he's only played in the Masters 3 times.
Okay.
Actually 4, but he had to withdraw because of a back injury, so I don't count that. So it's 3. So he finished second his very first time, 6th the next, and now T9 this year. And here's the thing. On Sunday, he had one of the better rounds.
It's after a bit of a comeback.
3
too.
under on Sunday. And I really like where his game is at, and I think Harbortown plays to that. So I like Will Zalatoris. Watch out for a Cam Young sighting this week, which I said the same thing last year, and it bit me in the ass. And I get it because he bombs the ball,
Yeah.
but he's not super accurate. But his iron game is so good. So it's like, okay, if he's playing well off the tee, if he's hitting the ball well off the tee and has some accuracy there, I like Cam Young.
I don't like him on Sunday. I don't like him without.
He's going to break
substantial-
through someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get that? Got that little Sunday?
We got it.
Someday.
We got it. Yeah, it was very nice.
I'm drinking lavender.
Is that tasty, by the way?
It's actually fantastic.
Pretty good. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. Wife has me on some new cider.
I wonder what are Scheffler's odds as we
Scotty
get
Scheffler's
closer?
plus 400.
Yeah, no, but like as we get closer, do they go to because he might not be there, or he might leave early, or how does that work?
Well, what do you think he's doing? He went to Dallas.
Right.
Is he going to fly in Wednesday?
I mean, I think he's got enough game to probably fucking matter, right? He's gonna show
Really
up.
good point.
Yeah.
And it's a signature event, so they all are supposed to be there,
Yeah.
or else they lose.
That's.
I think that's still in play, where
Okay.
they lose like $3 million.
Nap. You don't like nap. You
Take
don't like nap time.
Nap time. Not at this golf course.
Okay. All right.
He plays well on wide open golf courses where you got to bomb the ball.
Just lay it out there. Okay.
Yeah, he's not super accurate off the tee. Good iron game, though. I do like his iron game. But the other one that you got to watch out for, Jordan Spieth. And you know who I don't like this week? Is your guy that you picked last week, Max Homa. I don't like him this week.
No, I wouldn't take it.
Wife's birthday was yesterday, which class act for Max Homa, because we're recording this on Monday. He was a class act yesterday, and still in his Masters polo that he wore on Sunday. Got the wife a cake, had her blow it out, and then he was telling reporters too that like he had not drank in a while, and he was really looking forward to drinking Sunday after the Masters. So he's going to be hungover Monday, and I bet like if anybody's going to be mentally exhausted from this past week, to me it's Max Homa.
100,000%.
So I don't think I would put him as potentially even missing the cut this week. So maybe that's motivation for him. Who knows? But that being said, I also don't mind Wyndham Clark for a top 20 this week.
Okay.
So we got some of that going on.
Okay.
Now, once again, Swannies is our sponsor. we've got the Swannies style segment, and boy, was there some controversy around the style this week. And it's not my outfit, that's for goddamn sure, because I look goddamn sharp because of Swannies. But and by the way, promo code BullhookGolf25 at checkout, folks. Get 25% off your entire order. All right, sorry about that. Now, the Swanee style segment, and I'm going to start easy. I'm going to ease us into this, okay?
Okay.
Which jacket do you like better style-wise, since we're going back-to-back weeks where the winner gets a jacket? Now, not what it represents. So take away everything except for the style of the jacket. Do you like the green jacket of the Masters, or do you like the plaid jacket of the RBC Heritage?
Just what are you into more? What do you like better? Mm-hmm. Regardless of history.
Regardless of history.
I like the plaid jacket.
I fucking agree.
I like the plaid jacket.
I'm solely with you on
just
that.
Plain, yeah.
That's why I had to take away like the prestige of the event,
right,
and what it means behind it. This is more all about style on
yep.
this Swanee style segment.
Plaid
now,
jacket's badass.
We're gonna get into some deeper points here. The vest of Jason Day, the famous Melbourne vest that was loud and Augusta National, which, by the way, people started running with. The Bob Estes on Twitter came out and threw out there that just based off of the fact that he removed the vest, that Augusta National asked him to remove it.
Correct.
Did not know that they had actually asked him.
That was
he actually was like, "Oh, I'm joking. I don't know." And then sure enough, that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Was he had to remove his vest. A member of Augusta National, one of the guys came up to him. I don't know who it was. He didn't say. But asked him to remove the vest. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's one of the biggest PR weekends in Melbourne golf history, and anybody under the age of 40, I think majority of them loved that.
I loved it.
I think it was massive for that company, and they got exactly what they asked for.
The vest almost looks like an ugly Christmas sweater.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't horrendous.
Melbourne, you got some stuff going on there.
Oh, boy.
I mean, my lord, I'm a fan of the brand, but holy crap.
I want the vest. I truly do. Like that, and I'm probably part of, yeah. It worked on me. Like, I want it. It's so
I would love
rotten.
to know, how many of you want the vest from Melbourne?
I just want to have one now.
Add it in the comments. All right, so.
Sorry.
Obviously, you love the vest. You would rock it.
I would. Just because it's one of those things. It's that heinous.
This might be a Christmas gift for you from me. From me.
I think they're like $300, so that would be very nice.
It's gonna be a nice Christmas gift. I've got plans. We're doing big things out here.
Yeah.
I got your opinion. My opinion on it was, I didn't mind it. Like it's not atrocious to me. It's ugly. It's like an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
But it has like a thing about it that you're just like, I get it. It made his outfit look better, in my opinion. So I was not against it. I did think it was weird that Augusta National went out of their way to ask him to remove it.
Yeah, I mean, we got live players out
there. Don't get into that yet. We're almost there.
But yes.
Oh, what a spoiler.
It was weird. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Somebody being that offended that it wasn't that bad.
And then what did you think of his Thursday pants? The windbreakers that were so huge. And it was windy on Thursday, too. So it seemed like it might have caused him a few strokes. What were your opinion on those?
Again, it brought me back to a modernized version of a gone era in golf, which was when they used to have bigger, baggier pants on that flowed in the wind. And it gave me some 90s nostalgia with a modern twist on it. And I think that's probably what they're going for.
Yeah, but I missed the pleat. It doesn't have the pleat.
Needs the pleat.
It needs the
pleat. I'm
pleat.
with you on that. You need the pleat.
Cleans it
Otherwise,
up.
you're snowboarding.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was snowboarding.
Yeah.
It was big, baggy kind of. And I had to do a double take initially. I'm like, are those like rain pants or are those khakis? Apparently in person, I did see a reporter say that they were sharp in person.
Yeah.
Where like on TV, they did not show well. And then you got the foreplay guys that were like, He's going to fly away in the wind.
He did look like a flag a couple of times, but
He's putting. That's where I thought he was losing stroke because he's sitting there and things are whapping around, which whap, whap, whap. Like, it just, that's terrible. I just saw myself on the screen.
Did you see that? What that is?
Whapping around in the wind.
Forget about that.
So, sorry about that. Good old Jason Day. We're getting back to the pants here, okay? All right, no, we're moving on from the pants. Fuck the pants. I just need the pleats, okay? Melbourne, you did it for the women, and they look sick. The women Melbourne pants with the pleats are awesome. We need them for the men. We got to bring it back. I love the Tiger Woods era, where he had the huge baggy pleated pants. I want those.
Fucking sick, dude. I would love to see a return to that.
I would love that. And then, sure enough, you mentioned it already. What did you think about the LIV golfers wearing their team uniforms and hats this week?
Oh, I mean, nothing like throwing a giant fuck you at the establishment. I mean, who doesn't love that? Those guys are into what they're doing. You know, they're what is it? The word? There's actual camaraderie out there. I don't think people believe that that's real, but it really is. And they showed that this weekend.
I thought it was a bit. How do I put this? Because I didn't mind it, but I thought it was a bit much.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ask Jason Day to remove his vest,
right,
ask those guys to not wear the huge logos and everything on their clothing for their teams.
I mean, it's not a PJ Tour event, though, right? Like,
it's not. Which I say that as, hey, be fair to both parties.
I agree with you.
I didn't mind the LIV golf stuff. Somebody mentioned it on Twitter at the beginning of the tournament, and it actually made me look at it like, oh, they are wearing their stuff. At first, it didn't even comprehend in my brain that they're wearing all their LIV stuff, and then somebody mentioned it. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
It's got to be something to do with the fact that the vest maybe said championship on it, or representing their own. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird. It's hard to really understand what offended somebody so much that you need to take it off. So, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. So you're against Augusta National asking LIV guys to remove.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean,
their
look,
clothing.
Yeah,
it's all they brought.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they should have the right.
Could be a tough week.
I mean, if the shirt says "fuck you" or "get fucked" on it, yeah, maybe take that off. Something offensive to the general public,
or a logo of maybe something not supposed to happen.
Correct.
Like a golf cart or.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, tiger with one leg. Who knows? Stuff like that shouldn't be tolerated. But
shouldn't be tolerated. Got to keep it clean out there at the Masters.
Shit.
Jason Day didn't seem to have a problem with it, so
no.
Which he was a good sport about it all. He might have been a little cold that day, but whatever.
He's patron of the game. I think he got it.
Now, LIV Golf Masters Recap Edition. Yes, Jeff Mossbrucker, this is what you have been waiting for. This is what a lot of people have been waiting for. And yep. I mean, this was a Masters to remember or forget for LIV Golf. I'm not quite sure I know. Because John Rahm, this to me was expected of John Rahm.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to go back-to-back Masters victories. And he hasn't been himself in terms of being in form during his time with LIV. He hasn't even won a LIV event yet.
No.
Which you look at and you're like, dude, there's 52 players?
Yeah.
And you're dominant.
You're supposed to be the guy.
If he was in form, which we knew, before he signed with LIV, he took some time off.
Oh, absolutely.
He backed out.
YouTube matches.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. He filmed a couple YouTube matches, played in the Arizona Skins game, which is on a par 3 course.
Yeah.
And John Rahm he kind of got paid. And that happened to everybody that first year when they got paid. All of a sudden they had time off that they weren't expecting, stopped playing golf, and then they forgot how freaking difficult this sport is and how often you need to be playing and practicing and getting your game in shape in order to compete at that highest level. Yeah. So John Rahm, to me, he played a fine Masters, was expected. And
Yeah.
you're going to hear this
I
from
agree
me a
with
lot
that.
on this one because everything that I said last week pretty much happened. So he did, though, criticize Augusta National for having them play on Friday in those windy conditions. He
Why?
thought it was unplayable.
I mean, were balls rolling on the green? Like,
No.
So that's really the only thing that would.
They did get sandblasted, though, in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the ball's staying in play on the putting green, especially there, then yeah, you don't. I mean, dude, that's how it goes.
I also think women pay a lot of money to be sandblasted in the face. It's like a facial.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Carry on.
John, how about we just take that with facial? You know, you could have
Thank
paid some
you.
good money for that.
Oh, maybe I took that the wrong way. I apologize.
No, I think you took it any way that I meant it
That
to
you
come out.
needed it to
Yeah. I really left that one out
fuck.
there. So he also talked about a certain someone or people that did not welcome him back. Which, by the way, hang on, I gotta add Jeff here. Good old Jeff with the laughy face there. So I had to add you into this. My mouse is a little far. Hang on. Let me bring the mouse over here. I wonder if I can get this to stay.
Whoa,
I don't know.
Look at that touch.
Maybe, maybe not. We're gonna find out. We're gonna fuck around and find out. It's that kind of episode today. You know, Butsy's got to hop on an airplane to head to
I
Florida
am.
at 2:30
My
in the
eyes
morning.
are burning.
Yeah, he had a tough weekend. He just had a big gulp. So here we go. The person he was talking about that was a certain someone who did not welcome him back. It's none other than Tiger Woods. I have confirmation on this, by the way, that it was 100% Tiger, and that Tiger has felt betrayed by John. Okay, and you have to listen to this. Okay, so a lot of people forget that John asked Tiger for a practice round to play with him at the Masters. I think in 2021 or 2022.
22.
And Tiger was just like, I'm doing my own thing. And sure enough, they got paired together in 2022. Well, Tiger got a liking to John during that 2022 Masters. Okay? And he shared a lot of tips and tricks around Augusta National for how to play it. And he finally opened up with John. John became on his texting list. Like the whole 9 yards,
Through the
okay?
coveted
John,
text list.
John was brought in to that fold. John was also a part of the TGL, which is owned by Tiger and Rory.
That's
Okay?
what's that stand for again? Golf.
Tomorrow Golf League.
Okay.
So it's part of the future. Okay? And that being said, right before John signed with Liv, he was contracted with TGL and backed out at the last second. Okay, and then signed with Liv for a bunch of money. So Tiger is jaded, and if you know anything about Tiger, he does not. He holds grudges for one. Does not like when you cross him.
Yep.
And if you cross him, you're dead to him.
Yep.
So that's why Tiger didn't look at him, didn't interact with John, didn't do anything. And I know that had to hurt John.
I heard he actually hissed at him. Yeah, when I saw him.
Yeah, just like that, just like Dodgeball. Remember Dodgeball?
Oh.
That was Ben Stiller.
Cobras.
Yeah, his team. Oh God, that's great.
Yeah, Tiger didn't like that.
Tiger didn't like that. So John talked about that a little bit and was a little butthurt. People got upset about John talking about it. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. I'm a big John Rahm fan, so
Same.
I've got nothing against John there. John did his things for his own personal reasons, and Tiger's got his own personal reasons. Like, Tiger doesn't have to like you.
No.
So
No.
that
Look,
is, it is what it is.
Yeah. They're
And
grown
then-
men.
Cam Smith, he proved once again that some guys just don't need form heading into Augusta National in order to play really well at Augusta National.
Dude, he can just flat out turn it on and play golf. I mean,
His putting is stupid.
got to be the best putter in the world.
I thought Denny McCarthy was for a little while.
Yeah.
Which Denny McCarthy is just a pure roller of the golf ball. Cam Smith is better. Like, and then you watch Cam Smith putt at Augusta National, which Augusta National, these putts are breaking 3 feet left to right to left, like with just, you have to have the perfect pace. And he's dropping everything, and he reminds us why he was number 2 in the world before he went to Live. Unreal. And the problem is, though, that a lot of people were bitching, and I'm with them, that there was not enough coverage of Cam Smith. Cam Smith was in contention on Saturday and Sunday, and they barely showed him.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Fucking terrible. Like, dude, the guy was playing flat out golf.
It pissed me off because
That's
Cam
ridiculous.
Smith is one of my favorite guys to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to watch him on the broadcast, and I like the main broadcast, okay? Not one of these ADD new age Generation Z or whatever that love like 50 different images up on a screen. Like you can do the Masters thing to where you've got the feature group, you got holes, Amen Corner, you got 15 and 16, you've got individual players you could put up there. I go nuts. I'm just like,
well, did you see
I want one fucking screen to look at.
Did you see how crazy the Apple headset version was?
Oh, I can't imagine.
I watched the video.
Actually, I can imagine.
Dude, the guy's got everything and odds, leaderboard, everything. Got all his betting apps up, like all 3D in space. And
So, a quick fun fact, side note, or sidebar here. So when I was doing VR for Major League Baseball teams, it literally was something that on Oculus, back in the day, you could pull up and they had it for the NCAA tournament, to where you could have all the games up. And they were all like 100-inch screen. And you're just looking around. And then you can pull up the stats and everything. It's actually, if you haven't experienced this,
sure, it's
it
cool.
is so cool.
Yeah.
It is so cool. And then like you can pop on Netflix, lay down in your bed, look at the TV, like look up at the ceiling with one of these headsets on, and have a 200-inch movie screen in front of you watching whatever you want. It's actually really, really cool. It's kind of sad that VR never took off, but you know, with this augmented reality headset by Apple, if it ever comes down in price, it might hit the mainstream.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So moving on from there, here you go, Jeff. We got good old Bryson DeChambeau. Yes, his name is DeChambeau. I understand. I've just always called him DeChambeau.
I used to call him Bryson Day Slams Buds.
I used to call him Bryson Day Douche, and that was a fantasy football
I like Bryson.
name for a while. I do too now. Here's the thing, like
now?
Yes, because well, a couple years ago, and like you hear from the caddy, and I heard it from multiple guys.
Yeah.
That he was just a piece of shit as a person.
Okay.
And that, like, he put on a persona for the camera. And that's where, like, I've been asking people lately, I'm like, has he, like, matured and grown up? Like, does he get it now? Or is he still a douche, and he's just, once again, got a good PR team behind him, getting him on with, like, Bob Does Sports, getting him on with Paige Sporanic, doing all this stuff to, like, try to make him cool, and to be, like, be able to, like, resonate with people and so forth. And I haven't gotten a straight answer back by anybody yet. Like, everybody that has been close to him through that is just like, yeah, he's cool now. Like, he's a normal person now.
I do have his phone number. We probably should just ask him.
We should just call him up.
Well, here's all I know, man. This guy's talked to me, pretty much a complete fucking nobody, quite a few times, and he's always been super cool to me.
There you go. I've never asked you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked to him quite a few times, and he's always been decent. But again, maybe that's because he doesn't want to, piss off the bear, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
I thought he was. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, though. I can totally see that point.
But no, I mean, a lot of it was
grown
like
up.
interactions with kids, like after golf rounds.
Just a prick.
He was just like a dick. Yeah.
Dave Sims.
And he was a baby at times, like complaining about stuff. Like all the caddies that I have talked to on the PG Tour that were around him at the time just have nothing good to say about him. But what's awesome is that, like, and here's the thing, my actual perception of all of this is that he has grown up, is that he gets it. He understands it. He knows that with live and everything, what he's trying to do for the game of golf is he's trying to modernize it. And he knows that he's the face of it now in a lot of ways, especially for live golf. And he's got a bigger target on him that he needs to carry forward. And so for me, I loved his charisma this week.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic. I thought that he was entertaining. And
Some crazy body language, doing some crazy stuff out there.
oh god, the group in front of first he
When he was
does
shooing him.
the whole entire thing where he's like, get out of the way, hurry up. And then you see some of the guys running off to the next tee. I thought that was great. He did it in good fun. It was a good gesture. He also, by the way, picked up that sign out of the ground, carried it over out of his way.
I thought that was fucking AI when I saw it.
I did
did
too.
Did he really do that?
I thought somebody did Photoshop and put that together.
No, that happened.
And then I went back and I watched. I'm like, holy crap, he really did that.
Why?
So he hit it so it was on hole 13. He hit his drive so far into the pine straw, like he blocked it out to the right, and you know how far Bryson hits it, so he had to play it up the other hole. So he was all the way up the other hole. I forget which hole, 14. It had to be 14. And he was like on the other side of the fairway or towards that, and there was that big post that was in his way, so he had to move it.
We'll go ahead and tear this thing out of the ground. Sounds good.
Just ripped it out. Fantastic stuff from Bryson. So, Bryson, whatever you're doing, man, keep it up because you also, the golf gods finally allowed you to play a par 67 at Augusta National because that Friday, or that Thursday round was special.
And the hole out on 18 was pretty dope.
Oh, on Saturday?
That was sick.
I mean, he was dead to rights.
Yeah.
Out of the golf tournament, and then does that.
Pew!
And put him right back into it, and then
sure did.
He struggled Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell after his opening round of 7 under, he just didn't. The wind hurt him, and then it's almost as if he got tired with his body, which is something to be said about Augusta National because he started. I mean, he still looked like he was ripping the golf ball.
Yeah, but it got loose.
But it wasn't going that far.
No.
And it got loose. You're right. It got loose, and it wasn't going as far. It was like on hole 8, he was short of the bunker. And like there were these shots where he started hitting these spinny drives, and they weren't going anywhere.
No.
And it's just like, maybe we need to come back a little bit, reel it back in a little bit around, having this long driver in the bag and
yes,
all
the
this
crank
stuff.
fire,
And then,
the 6th degree.
He had his irons that he created. You know about those?
I do, and those are causing a lot of buzz in the equipment tech nerd space. People are wondering about those.
It is the bulge roll. The bulge roll. Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah.
Get yourself together out here. There's a face bulge, okay? And I'm out here doing the John Cena. There's a face bulge that is going on that driver technology has for the face of the drivers that make them a little bit more accurate. Nobody's added these to irons. And even Chambly, good old Chambly, I pop on the Golf Channel, and he's talking about how this is very impressive. And it makes a lot of sense that this technology should be in irons. And that, Bryson DeChambeau has gone and done it on his own.
Pioneered this.
Yeah. So actually pretty cool stuff from Bryson. And yeah, folks, they had just been approved by the USGA in the conforming irons.
For play.
Yeah.
Wow.
The week prior to
I
the
did not
Masters.
know that about him. That's pretty wild.
And he did have some issues with distance control with his irons. So that tells me, like, okay, maybe he just wasn't dialed in with the irons yet.
Too new.
Yeah. You know when you get new irons and all of a sudden, like, you have flush distances or you have just off-centered hits. Like, there's these different things that you get used to. Yeah.
Hold-offs, all that shit.
Yeah. So I don't know if he had that dialed in. I don't know how long he's been practicing with these irons. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Do we know what they're called?
Oh, God. The company that made them, I'm trying to think of their name. I can't think of it.
I'm going to have to Google it.
But they're custom for just Bryson. So just doing the moldings and they're 3D printed irons. It was $10,000 just to do the moldings.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's Bryson for you. I am not. Bryson to me finally proved that he can contend at the Masters.
Yes.
Never thought he could. I didn't think that his game related to Augusta National that well, especially with around the greens.
He's just going to get better at playing it, right?
I think
More
so.
mature in how he goes about handling it.
He mentioned that.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so
You're spot on.
Just going to take a little time.
Yeah, it's going to take a little time. Then we got Terrell Hatton.
Good
old Tyrell. He's
the Keebler.
He
Looks
is
like a
the
Keebler
angry
trio.
elf. Angry.
Yeah.
I expected him to play well this week. If you listened to the podcast last week, you know that I was expecting him to be pretty solid this week, and he was. Played very well, kept his attitude under control for the most part. And then my dark horse, Patrick Reed, he also played very well. I thought he had a chance of winning it. Not the case.
No.
His driver is a problem right now. And did you hear his post round about him? And I think it's a family member that's on the back, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so he goes, luckily it's a family member that is on the bag right now, because they said to me after my ball was up in a tree that you should probably drive the ball a little bit better.
No shit.
That's what he said. He's like, no shit.
Oh,
Thanks for the
God.
advice.
I remember my dad would caddy for me back in the day and say some shit like that. I'd be like, you can just leave, bro. Get out of here. Nothing worse than that coming from a family member.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's great.
You know what also is so bad is when the caddy that you have on the bag, you know them, they're...
Oh, good.
Oh, allergy season out here in Arizona.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I've been getting just rocked. But the other thing is that when they are overly complimentive, they're like, oh, great shot.
Like annoyingly.
Great shot.
Yeah.
And
It's not a fucking good shot.
it just went into the creek. So...
But you hit it good. Fuck off.
You're like, I really don't care that I hit it good.
No.
Or you hit a shot, you drop a club, and they're like, great shot. And it ends up not being so bad, but the impact on the club face was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you might have shanked it. It's one of those. So, yeah, folks, at home, listening, don't just randomly say, oh, great shot. If you're going to say great shot, wait till it ends.
Make sure.
Make sure that it's in the fairway. Make sure it's not in a fairway bunker or in a hazard. Fucking pisses me off. Apparently pisses a lot of people off, because we're in a group Sunday, and the guys in my group were talking about that quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Unless they're a beginner and, they clearly can't touch the face of the golf ball, then some words of encouragement.
Hate to see it.
Keep them in. So, anyway.
Now, Joaquin Neiman. He was a hot topic coming into this Masters. A lot of live golf fans were just, oh my God, he's going to win the
Oozing.
Masters. He's the best player in the world. He's the best player I've ever seen.
He earned this. He played all over the place. He's hot.
It's like, man, he's the hottest golfer right now because he's won multiple events. Horses for courses, folks. This golf course is not for Waco Neiman. I'm so sorry to break it to the novices that are live golf accounts. Okay, this golf course does not fit Waco Neiman. Does not have the creativity around the greens.
Okay.
And that's just factual. Like, you look at him play, the tournaments that he wins, the greens aren't crazy undulated. He has a really good iron game. His driver's gotten a lot better. He's learned how to hit a draw, which is why I'm like, okay, he might play better this year than he ever has, because he has this nice little draw that he's been hitting on the live golf circuit. And, I mean, he is hot. Like, his putter's been hot, but putting on flat greens versus Augusta National greens, it's just a different animal.
It's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You press that gas, you are litty titty.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful out there. Litty titty up in the city.
Very good.
Yep. There you go. So, again, I just don't think that his game matches up very well. I think he's a guy that, he's going to strive to get into the top 20. Then you got Phil Mickelson.
Philly Picklewood.
Philly Mick. At his age,
he played great.
Still impressive.
Yeah.
Still impressive. Just a tough year. In the wind. At his age.
What did he finish, like?
He was like 30, 40, like 30, I think.
One under after?
No, he was over par.
No, after day one, though? Did he shoot one under on Friday? Yeah. Yeah, he can still play some golf.
He's still solid. He's got the lab putter in.
Mm-hmm.
He was dropping some putts out there. I was proud. It's like, there we go, Philly Mick. Let's get it.
Yeah.
I was a big Phil Mickelson fan growing up.
Oh, same here, dude.
Actually, I've met him in
was my
person,
favorite.
and I've never had a bad interaction with Phil. A lot of people have, though, and I get it. I know all the stories. I know.
I've heard that
Yeah,
same thing.
So I get it. And a lot of people don't deal well with people who have big egos.
Yeah.
So there's that. Now, Brooks Koepka, once again, played exactly how I thought he
Kind of
fucking
saw
would.
that one coming.
I saw it coming from a
Yeah.
mile away. He hasn't been sharp this year. And I just, plus the first child curse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is one, by the way, that he's feeling it. If you can't tell that Brooks Koepka looks a little tired, has not had a haircut in a little bit.
You could see it in his eyes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jenna Sims, I can tell you right now, is not one of those wives that's just like, oh, don't worry, honey, I got it.
Right.
Don't
Go
worry.
Do your thing.
Yeah, we're good.
No.
No fucking
No.
chance. But I love Brooks. Love his, just the transparency with Brooks and just how forthright he is. But yeah, he's just not sharp yet. I think he'll get there. I think he's going to figure it out.
Oh, he'll do it again, but
Yeah,
not now.
not now. Maybe the PGA. Who knows? Probably not. All right. The biggest news today
Oh,
that was
boy.
breaking.
Oh boy.
Breaking the internet. Which, folks, you've been listening to this goddamn podcast. I've been saying it for months now. Give Rory the bill. Good old $1 billion. And he's going to live. Everybody's like, no, Rory's not going to go. Rory's fucking going to live, guys. He got jaded. Jay Monahan was one of his best friends.
Yeah.
And literally feels like he got taken.
Nobody
in the
got
entire
hoodwinked more
deal.
than Rory.
Rory got screwed, man. And that's where it's so tough to be Rory McIlroy in general. Then you get screwed over like that. And it's got to be so frustrating. So earlier today,
Yep.
City AM, which apparently is like one of the top financial outlets in London, came out and said that he is close to an $850 million deal with Live Golf.
That's just
Plus, not an ownership stake in a team.
The
He's
whole
going to get
league.
his own team, but he's going to get an ownership stake in the league.
so this. Okay. So obviously people are already barking up a storm about his comments last year, the year before, and all that bullshit.
Yeah, but look at the end of this year,
Well-
or at the end of last year. I mean,
Where I'm going with it is, he may know something too about where the dust is going to settle with all this, with the PGA Tour and what that end tour or whatever it might end up being looks like. Ownership maybe in that, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he knows a little more than the average Joe, and there might be a little more validity to what he's doing.
well, he also removed himself from the board of directors.
Oh, I didn't know
He
that.
was, yeah, oh yeah, he was going to be
The golden boy, and then
not only the golden boy, but he had a huge stake that was up for the PGA Tour if he just stayed in it. He started, which this is the internal talks, he started getting into a lot of arguments with Tiger as well as Patrick Cantlay, who Rory wanted it to be for everybody on tour, apparently. That's what I've heard. Where Tiger and Cantlay were like, no, we're going to take care of the top guys. And that's where Rory was just like, I'm done. He finally got to the point to where he was off of the board. He ended his board term early. That's why Jordan Spieth had to come back into the picture. And Jordan Spieth came back in.
this is juicy stuff.
It's deep because this is the stuff you're not going to get from everybody else. This is where our little bit of knowledge and our little bit of insight, our little bit of insider info really pays dividends for our listeners, because you're hearing it over and over again. Rory's jaded. Rory's probably going to live. Rory is off of the board. Jordan Spieth replaces him. Jordan Spieth now has a big chunk and has a big say in everything going on. Everything kind of shifted to where now Rory at the end of last year started doing some interviews. People were like, whoa, this is a full 180
Yeah.
from
But
Rory McIlroy.
things have changed.
Things have
The
changed.
light has come on in some dark corners.
And by the way, folks, if you might have known, remember how they said that they wanted a deal done before the Masters this year. They're in due diligence right now, and everything is very, very quiet right now with the PGA Tour as well as with PIF and Live. So, again, I don't think Rory has an insight right now to it. I think Rory's just sick of it. And I think Rory feels like, which John Rahm felt like last year. John Rahm even said recently in some interviews that he felt like by him going to Live, it was going to be the turning point. That everything was going to get merged together, and he was going to be back on the PGA Tour like that. He thought he was taking the smart money and going to be right back over. I feel like Rory feels like he's in that position now. To where if he goes and accepts this, he's going to be merging the PGA Tour and Live. And I even said, I'm like, the guy that moves the needle for me, that all of this ends and it merges together and so forth, is Rory.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Because he was the face of the PGA Tour through all of this.
This is very interesting.
And for him to go over to Live? Now, granted, nothing is signed, nothing is done.
No, but
and
this was
obviously Rory wants to, oh boy, hang on, Anti-Live's here, folks. He's added a comment. Let's see what this is. Oh, this should be interesting. Here we go. It's ongoing. I don't know what that, do you know what that word is? M-U.
It's like a link or something.
Unbelievable. I have no idea what that is. And due
link.
diligence. Oh, that is part of the merger side of things. So there's no way a recent offer would be made. That's interesting. So here's the thing, though. So Anti-Live, you have to keep in mind that Greg Norman kind of goes by the beat of his own drum. And I don't know if Piff has formally made that offer, but maybe Greg Norman has.
Yeah.
And maybe Greg Norman can't cash checks that his mouth is spitting out there, but he's spitting it out there. And I've known from internal sources for quite some time, which is why I keep alluding to you guys. Hey, Rory's going to go to Live. Rory's going to go to Live. Rory's going to go to Live. Rory's going to go to Live.
And this came from a pretty reputable news outlet too, didn't it?
Which is why I'm like,
somebody heard something from.
I'm kind of done. I'm giving you guys tips and inklings, but I'm done kind of just saying, hey, he's going and this is the info, because nothing's for sure until everything is on, like, signed on the dotted line. And I don't want to be one of those accounts or podcasts that are just like throwing out there just bullshit. So I keep saying, I'm like, guys, like, read the writing on the wall with Rory McIlroy.
Like you said, it's been quiet. I mean, they could say all day that we're currently, in due diligence or whatever, but
you know what would fuck up that due diligence? By signing Rory McIlroy to $850 million. That would be quite the shot.
Yeah.
Which I never thought that Rory was going to sign mid-season. Like, it's kind of too late, in my opinion, to, like, add another team, get him over into Live. I felt like that was going to come if a deal wasn't made this year. I felt like it was coming at the end of the year. So this might be a little premature with some of the reporting going on. They might be figuring out the terms right now for a deal at the end of the year. So just know that.
Okay.
And then we got the next Live Golf event is
Adelaide. Oh, yes.
Dude, remember last year? Your boy Pat Perez jumping up and down?
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely destroying the green?
Oh, absolutely. His hair just turning into a dragon wing.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait for that one. Whew. That'll be something.
I'm actually excited to watch the event, though. Like, I've made this pretty vocal.
It's not this week, though. It's next week.
I'm vocal about it, though. I'm excited to get on there. I love watching it on the app. I love the coverage on Live. And, just being honest about it,
I think maybe one of the days, since they stream, and we could pull in the YouTube feed, maybe one of the days when they're in Adelaide, we just jump on and do some commentary.
Why not? Yeah.
I think people would enjoy that more.
Because you know what? Live Tour is a little bit better about giving you enough action from every group.
Oh
right?
my God, it'd be nonstop.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
We would be nonstop.
I think it could be very entertaining.
Which, by the way, folks, watch out. We might have a league of our own soon.
Ooh, God, that's a great movie. Real big throwback there about
Big
women's
throwback.
baseball club. But
Don't give away too many details here. I don't want to throw it out there yet.
Do we tell them what it has to do with?
Might be a
No,
little. No, I don't think so.
There may be an opportunity for something really cool.
There might be a league coming up that ends up us commentating, and it might be our league.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might be the Pole Hook League, and it's pretty exciting stuff. If I must say so myself, it's gonna happen out here in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Something you can do on weeknights.
Oh,
Hint, hint.
it's so good.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty
we're just
cool.
dropping in that little hint right now because there's some things that might be dropping here very, very soon.
Woo!
And looking forward to it. But once again, folks, that was Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. And I just
that was a big one, man.
that went
That
on
was a
for
big one.
It was. I knew it was going to be a beast of an episode. I even
Yeah.
said it in like the promo today. I'm like, man, this is going to go on longer than I feel like because there's just so much to go over today. But I do want to thank our sponsor. I want to thank our audience first of all you guys that are on right now live. I think there's about 700 plus that are still live with us after an hour and 40 minutes. I greatly appreciate everybody being on with us, adding some comments in. Jeff, Anti-Live, even though Anti-Live, you are straight, you hate Live Golf, which I totally get, but it is awesome to have you guys chiming in. I wish more would, because you're all on here. I think a lot of people are a little nervous to chime in and throw in their little 2 cents. It's a 22. So thank you to our sponsors, Swanee's Golf. First of all, folks, go to swanees.co, get 25% off your entire order. Once again, I am wearing Swanee's pretty much head to toe, except for the Nike Master shoes. But the shorts, the shirt, I mean, get yourself some Swanees. It is stylish, it's fun, it's flexible, it is recycled out of plastic bottles. So appreciate if everybody goes on
Turtle-free.
and gets themselves a little. And I just saw from Anti-Live, that's an understatement, Anti-Live said, in regards to him hating Live Golf. So obviously a parody account that does not, or a burner account I should say,
Pretty fantastic,
that does not like Live, and everything they're going to do is going to be Anti-Live, hence the name. What's his name? Anti-Live. So there you go, you got yourself a shout out there, Anti-Live. But that being said, once again, go to swanees.co, Pole Hook Golf 25, get 25% your entire order. We've also got the fundraiser. I'm going to be posting that on social media for the V Foundation, which goes to the V Foundation. It is all about supporting cancer research. Let's get rid of this fucking nasty disease. And I do want to thank Butsy for being here.
You are so
he had
welcome.
a very busy schedule. I'm upset at myself that it took this long to get through this episode because this poor man's got to jump on a flight at 2:30 in the morning. I appreciate him.
Okay.
So thank you once again for being here. And thank you to Club Twirl for having us here tonight with Augusta behind us. Once again, Club Twirl Golf Lounge in Phoenix, Arizona on Thunderbird. Hole number 12 here at Augusta
Who makes
National,
this
folks.
bag right
If you want to, and then good old Pole Hook golf bag there.
Badass.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. That's my bag. If you see me out there,
good.
that's what I'm rolling with, the good old Jones stripe show. Because my game's not there anymore, but boy, do I put on a stripe show.
It's still there. The
Yeah.
game's still there. Yes, it is.
So, three skins. But once again, Club Twirl Golf Lounge here in Phoenix, Arizona. Come play Augusta National, folks. Come play it. They love to put it up here on the screen for you. Love watching you play it and start yelling at yourself for how difficult it is, because it is difficult. And my God, I am still a 3-time champion here. That playoff is bullshit. I am the 3-time champion. If you go back on the scorecards, me and Terrence Daniels, we won. Which, by the way, Terrence Daniels, little shout out to you. He's going to be competing in that new grass league, the par 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's participating in the qualifying round. So a lot of
Very good.
A lot of franchises out there, and once again, folks, thank you for being on tonight. And that's all we got. Peace out. A-Town down.